Hello? Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me? I'm so sorry. I couldn't get anything to work. Yes, I am here. Is anybody still here? I'm so sorry. Oh, good morning. Let me see who all's here today. All right. So there's Carol. Paul, good morning. Marianne Slane. Barbara Ward. Marby. Yes, technology. Something, right? Well, I'll be here tomorrow, but I'm here now. All right. So I hope everyone had a good weekend. So I had a lot to say today. Just give me a minute here. Yes. Good morning, Sandy and Dream Tooth. We'll just have to. Oh, okay. Everybody sees me and hears me now. So I was thinking a lot about last week and various things that happened here on my weekend. And I was thinking of offering a class. We could imagine saying it was like a beginning of a school, but this is going to be for 4 times. What I'm going to do in those 4 times, probably 2 hours at a time, is teach you how to do the subconscious work, to do healings with people. Perhaps maybe that's something some of you might want to do. I thought of having them either once a month or maybe every 2 weeks on a Sunday evening at 7. So certainly I'm open to your input. It would be $88 for each time I have a 2-hour class. So you're going to learn specifically more about the development of yourself, things you need to do, and but most importantly, what it's going to do is give you an ability to begin to help other people and to have an income. You know, a lot of you know a lot of things. I don't know if you do that kind of thing with what you know, but and being a master, I also am a healer and have healing school. And I was trying to think of a way to begin to see if you like it, but also it could be a way that will help you support. My phone now keeps going off. What you want to do. And so the subconscious work was developed by myself and 2 other people when we were in Atlantis. The one person's name is Rick Moss, and the other person is Sterling, and we happened to all meet. and recognized each other. And I had already started on my own to do the work I remembered, not specifically knowing all the things entwined between all of us. But as we met together and spent time, that's how it is. So this isn't a work that you would say that you brought forth or anything. It's the subconscious work that was developed by the three of us from Atlantis. And it will help you release patterning from deep inside yourself, from your inner children. You've probably heard that there's inner child, but what there is actually are thousands of inner children. And so you'll be able to have an impression and receive what's going on in the chakras and how to help them release it. So Roger, good morning. So if you're someone that this excites, I believe over in the letter you're given, my email's there and you can write to me. I would need 6 people to start. And we can see where it goes from there. But perhaps you'll remember when Metatron showed up for me, he told me that because Metatron sits to the right of God, that God chose him to come to me because of my ability to speak clearly in spirit. So this is one way and how I'm going to begin to do that, along with channeling. And I may go on to a different way of doing that here shortly. So Marianne's here. You can tell me now, is telling me she's interested. And a lot of you do know a lot, but perhaps don't have enough of the form in how to bring it together to help others. And that's what there'll be 4 sessions, each one for 2 hours, would be to help bring you up to a snuff of awareness so you could begin to do the work for other people. Now, Carol has been a student of mine for a long time. Some of the other people that come here have been. And they seem to love it. So I was sure she would have no problem in sharing with you that I do know what I'm doing. All right. I know a friend. And that's wonderful. I'm not limiting it to 6. I need to have 6 to start. Tell your friends they can come and meet me here and get to know how I do and how it works. But yeah, I thought Sunday night on a Sunday evening would be good. And I think the first one coming up, if we can get things together in time, would be let me see where we are. There's a full moon on the 12th, and that's a Saturday night. You need to let me know. The Saturday or Sunday on the evening works better. I'm sure you don't want Easter evening, but let's just see by communicating back and forth. Yes, and I understand how to work with all the chakras, what they mean. You'll learn the different rays, and perhaps the rays that you have yourself that you're working on and from. I work along with Master DK, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard him. And it'll be really great. So You can see there must be a little bit of a difficulty in getting that out. But hopefully we've made it over that hurdle now. And yes, because I know for myself what I discovered hadn't always, way back when this is maybe 40 years ago, I never thought of myself being someone to share to another. And yet what I found was that it was very powerful within me to be able to do that. And there was a great reward. But what I found, um, I want to give you a moment of what it would mean. And we use the word disciple. Now, I've heard people say disciple probably people don't like. But being a disciple is simply being one who follows the Word of God. So many of you, I would say, already does that. And if you would then become to want to be participant, then this would be an avenue. Simplicity. It's very simple. So here Carol shares, since 2009, helped her immediately and has allowed me to help others as well. So we were laughing earlier today at, everyone has sometimes a resistance or a hesitation. But once you can allow yourself to feel the truth of who you are, it's exciting and you feel a greater wholeness. So I'm reading here from Discipleship in the New Age from DK, and I want to let you hear his affirmation of a disciple, just the beginning. He has different parts of becoming that. But a huge lesson that we all must follow is, Father, not my will, but thine will be done. So understand that it's about becoming surrendered and allowing you to become the vessel. It isn't you that makes perceptions or for your sound to go forth, it would be to allow it to be of God's. Let me see here where the first page is. Yes, we had school this weekend, and these are people who do once a month, and we do all day on a Saturday. Used to be 2 days, and as they evolved and I evolved, it works well now to do 4 to 5 hours on a Saturday once a month. So here's a part of that understanding of being in alignment that you may be able to feel deep inside yourself. I am a point of life within a greater light. I am a strand of loving energy within the stream of love divine. I am a point of sacrificial fire focused within the fiery will of God. And thus I stand. I am a way by which men may achieve. I am a source of strength, enabling them to stand. I am a beam of light shining upon their way, and thus I stand. And standing, thus revolve, I tread this way the ways of men, and know the ways of God, and thus I stand as I am. So there's so many different stages of growth and who you discover that you are. And it's a powerful experience. You learn a different way of meditation, um, heart control, and transference. There's many alignments. So these are things that if you do not know and you are curious about or feel to be driven to become, let me know. And we'll set April 12th as the beginning on Saturday night. If Saturday doesn't work, we'll hold it off until Sunday, but we won't do it on a big holiday weekend. All right? So, is there any questions about all that? You know, we've had a wonderful time here, and I would still do my 3 days a week here on this site, but we most likely won't do the depth that we will do in the class because you'll be learning and refining your own awareness, your own speck of light, and the ability for you to hold God. My phone is just going on and on here. Okay. So let's call in Mother, Father, and bring both of them into your heart. And certainly it's I believe, a huge part of your heart that you're going to get to know and how it feels and begin to have the awareness of your light out beyond your chakras. We'll talk of 7 chakras in the beginning, and then we'll go from there. Yes, my email is whitelotusrising@yahoo.com. TheoSophia. You can write it to me. whitelotusrising@yahoo.com. Yes, I think I can put it up here. Hold on. There you go. Did that come out? Let me just hit it. Yep, I think I spelled everything correctly. So if you have a question or you're interested, you can reach me by that. So today was an exciting day for me for supporting all of you in realizing it doesn't matter who you are. We all have energy. We all have chakras. We have a path that we're on and we're learning. And as we do that, we also have a gift to share through God's light. And maybe we've done it many times before. And being a part of this small group we're gathering, you may begin to remember those things. You know, we'll definitely discover your higher self, which I've mentioned before, and have you have a partner in your experience of who it is. But the greater thing that excites me is it's going to have an opportunity for more of God's people to become awake and for you to be able to help yourself by helping others and allow it all to continue to grow. So does anyone have any questions for me about that? You see, today is Healing Day, the Eye of Horus, so we're talking about supporting any and however many of you want to begin to start your journey of learning healing and being someone who can help other people. You know, the world can be very scary for people right now. And what we did many days is that we've looked at fear and how to get rid of it. And this is a subconscious technique that you can learn and help people yourself and understand the theory and how you let that go. Okay. So first I see Mary Ann and Paul. Yeah. Okay. We did have a technological glitch. It was me. But it's all right. All right. So let's do the one thing that you know you can always turn to, which is how I got out of the glitch I was just in, is by calling on the violet flame from 10 feet below you, 18 feet around you, 10 feet above you, and just begin to call forth the violet flame to blaze, blaze, blaze. The violet consuming flame. Shatter and consume, all cause, core, and effect. So it is just going to blaze away and not allow anything.
Unknown caller.
This phone. Not allow anything negative to be affecting you in this moment. And when you begin to do it and allow it to always be, Marianne's saying Saturday would be better for her. Okay, good. Yeah, I think Sunday night, you know, we like to go to a gathering with people on Sunday evenings, but we have Easter coming up, and that probably wouldn't work to be having that fight against. So September, I think that's April 12th, could be the first Saturday evening at 7 that we start. And Roger, is that Roger? Roger? Interesting, spelt differently. Let your friend know, and we'll see if we can get 6 people together. I have a few lists that I'm going to send it out on and see what we can manage. So, is anyone having a question today about the world today and where we are and how to find a way to come to peace with it? Because, see, first and foremost, you know you're going to be fine. As a child of God and one who holds the light of God, there may be moments where you're uncomfortable, but when you breathe through that with the violet flame, you can always discover a place where truth lies, and that you know who you are and what you're doing. So I don't think it's a time to be in fear. I think it's a time to hold truth in what you know is good for you. Love is everlasting. And when you begin to understand the depth of love that lies within you, I think you'll be able to have a greater peace and understanding and to move forward effortlessly. All right. And thank you, Carol, for mentioning, Carol always is here on site, most always. And Anik is another someone who's a student. She's on vacation right now. But there's a number of people. And yeah, maybe you're feeling a star within inside yourself or a light that you really can't figure it out or focus upon. And this, what I'm attempting to bring together, will give you an opportunity to discover that, yes, it is there for you, or maybe no, not so much. But so Paul says he's always interested in helping self or others. So, yes, those of you who are very attracted to Saint Germain, it all fits together. Saint Germain and that violet flame is always one of the, types of releases you can do. There's actually about 28 different releases that you learn in the process. So let me see. That's right. It's to observe that we don't have to live that here. We can choose where we want to sit in each moment. Yes, I did hear that. Thank you for sharing that, Mary. That is a great love everywhere. And if you look back a few weeks, there was a time when that love and unity poured into the world from a lot of disconnect from before. So things are changing. Things are actually uplifting. And there need to not be fear. I think on one of those weekends, we actually did a release on fear. So thank you for sharing. And that had to be very moving to be in a group of, I heard there was like 7 million people out over the weekend. I didn't really get to listen to all that this morning. My husband is very into the positive thought and not needing, like Paul said, to even have the awareness that there's anything else. For me, I do try to watch it and keep contact because that's how I focus my light, is to shift and to embrace some of that which is not where it needs to be. And when you have the light and it showers upon you, there's an opportunity to shift. So wonderful. Yes, I believe America is shifting. But then how do we not have the whole world shift is, I think, what Paul's saying. And that is what's happening. We're going to become a world of love and understanding and a grand growth in many levels that aren't really even being thought of yet. So, yes. Anyone else with a thought or question? Tomorrow, I will still do messages as always. Today, there was a glitch, and I had spent earlier time, and it was just all attempting to do something different when there was already something I did. And so here we are now, and everything's good. But yes. I hope the weather is getting better wherever it is you are. I've heard there's been a lot of rain, a lot of wind. Certainly, we're here in Florida. It's been starting to get just like normal, in the 80s. It's been a long time since we've had warmth. Um, and yet, our cold is nothing like some of the cold you have in the upper states. So, things are changing, but change is good. When you look at consciousness and where we've been as a whole and where we're going, it's night and day. And certainly, I mean that there's a greater love and light coming, and is to choose to be on that rise as it comes, and to not let yourself be forgotten, because there are none that in truth are ever forgotten. If you think back to when Jesus would go out on the boats, no one, when they all went out as boats, they all came back with fish. They all came back renewed and full of whatever it was that Jesus was able to offer to them through his heart. And that is part of how it all began. And we're all grateful. Jesus is a great friend of mine, as he is probably for a lot of you. Um, and I mean, I know him in this life. Uh, his name is Scott. It's not Jesus. Um, but if you see how he is in the world and how he speaks, you immediately stop and you look because you can hear who it is. And his energy is so enlivened. It's been very powerful for us. Here in Dallas, we've been having rain, and yesterday it was so freezing cold. Today is getting to be a little bit better. Yes, I have heard the such. And know that you need to allow God to embrace the city, the state of Texas, and allow it to be embracing. My daughter lives in Maryland and works for AT&T, and they desired her to move to Texas, and she's ended up being able to have her job stay in Maryland. So she's quite happy. So we may find a lot of moving type things and changing because consciousness is changing. We all have one. And there's a desire to have it be more in a union and in the same understanding than separation. I don't know if you've ever heard of the unified prayer, which is another prayer that you use through your heart to unify the different levels of consciousness within you. There's just so many things. We could probably sit and talk for forever, and the awarenesses that you can have about who you are and the lessons you're learning. Always, no matter who you are, there are lessons to learn. I have never met anyone that couldn't name one, and more than likely thought of many, and yet where they're still going in their interaction with people and how they perceive themselves. Yes, the major core issue is to love the self. And while you may think you do, I could probably point out many ways that you don't. And as you go to work inside yourself, is there paperwork to do in this learning? You may want to start like what I would call a diary and write notes, and then during the week, contemplate something and write down how you feel. That is part of the process of healing. I have so many books through all my 40 years of working that I can go back and pretty much find the beginning of where that experience of my DNA started. Yes. The unified prayer, I would probably have to get it imprinted for you. I'd rather have you learn it as a group and versus a separation in it, because it's a unifier. It's not for one person to hear, it's for many to hear it and to say it together. But see, I'm going to take a moment and write that on here, so I will remember to give that out to the people who come in that group. You know, it's not always as easy as, oh, let me find that book or let me do this. The teaching and how it pertains to each of you individually, it isn't that simple or easy. Those of us who become teachers have learned and know the different chakras and what can be available there for you to have an awareness of, and that's the beauty of it all. The same as if you choose to become a teacher, you're going to have a catharsis of how you evolved to help you understand how to help someone else. It's quite fascinating, quite fascinating. And what did I do before? Oh, I began as a dancer, tap and ballet, and I got married young and had children. And most of the time I was not allowed to work. I had a husband who, my wife's not going to work. And then I went to a bank and when it was my own decision, and worked at a bank for a long time. And then various things. And how I got into this was more that I had 5 car accidents, and I went to see a chiropractor whose mother was a healer. And she said to me, perhaps you need to go see my mother. Maybe she can help you. So she was someone who had her own way of healing, and she's working on me, and I believe it was called One Brain, what she did. And she had a stack of books so tall, and as she was working on me, there was a loud drop, and one of the books came off the center. It was in the middle of the stack. And she looked at it and she laughed and she said, this book happens to be for you. And here it was, opening to channeling. So that's how my path started. And connecting to my higher self and being guided. And from there to various teachers and understandings. And how did I connect back with Rick Moss was the one teacher I had ended up being the head healer at Barbara Ann Brennan School. Some of you might be old enough to remember that. And she always told me, I said, do I need to go to Barbara Ann Brennan School? She said, no, you're a great healer on your own way. You'll remember. And that has been what kind of happened. But I've always had great teachers. I saw a paper of an advertisement of Rick Moss offering subconscious work. And my thought was, wow, that kind of sounds just like what I already do. And I was curious enough, I went. And as soon as I walked in the room, he recognized me and shared with me that that's why I know how to do that, because I was there in Atlantis when him and I and Sterling all created it. So what that does is help you realize how mystical everything is, and you never quite understand like why you're here. Well, maybe you're here because I'm supposed to teach you how to do more. We don't know. We never know. But if you can follow your heart, if you're feeling something from what I'm saying today, perhaps it's something you're meant to do. My work, I was always told the work works. That's all you have to know. When you work and are working for God, the work always works. And my work has certainly evolved, and all the different levels and singing and light language, all those things slowly come and reveal themselves uh, and grow. And this too may be so for you. Who's to say? It's not me or you. It's what is that intuition deep inside you wanting you to do with this. And if it's to come and join and feel if it stirs something inside you, then perhaps you're meant to do it. All right. So I know I've kept you here today. It's funny, usually today I would have a client, and let me check. Nope, I do not today. So if there's anyone who does have a question, you can. I'm sure some people went home when I couldn't get on, but we'll remind them, see what they're interested in, or maybe they'll check into later. But I know my God is about the living God that is alive within me and alive within every person, even if they don't remember it. And you treat everyone as such. And it's such a profound way to be. So, yes. So you have my email. You can email me and let me know. And I'll see you tomorrow with bells on. Hopefully, I'll have my husband check over my computer. All right. Many blessings. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Yes, I do see your thought, Mary. And yes, the sun it's getting bigger, but it still has the cross of light in it. And it's overwhelmingly bursting. We have to kind of look at it with our eye. We cannot look right at it. It's getting so strong, more than before. So thank you for asking. Bye-bye.